Carolina wins that game, do you sense at all that there could be a shift from a seemingly imminent change come season's end to maybe a move being made during the season, or is that still out of bounds?
Well, it's possible. You know, Johnny Majors was fired during the season after a loss to South Carolina. Philip Fulmer was fired during the season after a loss to South Carolina. Derek Dooley actually made it to the Vanderbilt game before he was fired. But after the loss to South Carolina, it was imminent that it was going to happen. You know, so there's precedent. They don't like losing to the Gamecocks up there in Knoxville, and you know they fired two of their best coaches ever after losing to South Carolina. So I think that's what's kind of stuck in people's minds. If I were them, I don't know who on that staff takes over. Larry Scott, who was the interim coach at Miami after Golden got fired, maybe. You know, and guide you through the rest of the season where you could get to a bowl and all that. I don't know who does that. So, you know, I think because it's South Carolina and because there's precedent for this happening, there's probably a lot of Tennessee people that want it to happen that are talking about it. But I don't know necessarily that it does because, you know, ultimately they're what, 3-3 if they lose that football game. A lot of football left to be played. There's still Missouri. There's still Kentucky, who they own. There's still Vanderbilt left on the schedule. There's an LSU team coming to town late in November that they could, you know, jump up and bite. You know, so I don't know if you're John Currie that you make that move at that point. But I certainly can't rule it out, you know, based on precedent and history and all that good stuff.